Hello everyone, today I am going to be making a Pumfu veggie patty, and so this is like a burger patty. I'm using Pumfu, which is pumpkin tofu, and this is something new that is in the markets now. So if you don't want to eat soy, this is what you want to get, and I've been using this for about a month now and I love it. So we're going to be using I have two of them that I have cut up in pieces, so I'm going to be using two pumfus. I have some mint leaves, some scallions from my garden, some basil from my garden. The mint is also from my garden. I love summertime because you can actually grow stuff and use fresh produce, so that's really great. And then in this bowl I have one good sized zucchini. I have a whole bunch of chopped mushrooms. I have kale and I have spinach. And then I have here for my spices, I have 1 teaspoon of cumin coriander, half a teaspoon of chana masala. You can also use garam masala for that. I have 1 teaspoon of Himalayan pink salt, half a teaspoon of chili powder. I also have in here, I have sesame seeds, black pepper, about a half a teaspoon, and I have fennel seeds, about a half a teaspoon. Okay, and I've got about 2 good tablespoons of the sesame seeds. And for binding, I'm going to be using, I have a cup and a half of spelt flour. I'm going to use it as I need. So I'm going to put all the stuff in the processor and I'll add the flour a little bit at a time until it forms into a dough. Okay, so let's get started. Okay, so I have all my veggies in there. Now I'm going to throw in the salt and the chili. I'm going to throw in the cumin coriander and the chana masala. Sesame seeds, fennel seeds, and black pepper. The mint and the scallions and the basil. I love to use a lot of mint and basil in my recipes because they are great for your immune system, as is all the vegetables. They have protein and all kinds of nutrients that your body needs, and the more the greens, the better for your body. I'll use the pumfu and the flour last. So I'm going to process this first. So my veggies are processed a little bit. Now I'm going to throw in the pumfu, and then I'm going to add a little bit of flour to it. I'm doing this with one hand, so bear with me. Okay, and I'm going to process that. So my pumfu is done, it's in there, and I just added the flour. I've added like a cup and a quarter to start, and I'm going to see if I need more. So I threw in the rest of the flour, so it's 1.5 cup of flour in there right now. I'm going to just process for a couple seconds, and then I'm going to remove it in a bowl to form patties. Okay, so now I have my patty dough ready. So I'm going to do 2 versions of this. I'm going to do a raw patty version, which I'm going to put in my dehydrator right here, and then the other one I'm going to show you how I'll do it if I was to cook it. So let me make these ones first, then I'll show you the other ones. So with a spoon I'm going to take a good chunk, put it down. I'm going to make 4 patties for me that I can have. Some days I do raw vegan, other days I'm eating vegan, so cooked vegan, so I like to have some of my raw vegan stuff ready for me to eat. So this will be good for me to have tomorrow. Then I just do this and form a patty. I'll put in the dehydrator for about 10 hours or so. That should give it enough time. This one. Guys, this is an oil-free recipe. I did not put any oil in this patty mix. There's another one here. And I'll let you know how this came out. Get ready. So as you can see, you can use this recipe for both. If you're doing raw vegan, you can use it for that as well. So now this will go in my dehydrator. So there they are in my dehydrator. I'll put it for 10 hours. So check again in 10 hours. So now I'm going to show you how I'm going to cook this. Now, if you want this to be a oil-free recipe, please bake them in the oven on a parchment paper on 350 degrees for about 10 minutes on each side. Make sure you check so it doesn't get burned or overcooked. Okay, so let's put some oil in the pan and I'll form the patties and put them in there. So there it is. I made the patties and I put them in and they're now cooking. I'm going to let one side cook really well first and then I'm going to flip it. Please wait, you don't want to flip it too early because then it'll stick or break or fall apart. Okay, so cook one side really good when it's nice and crispy, then flip it to the other side. Okay, so it took a couple minutes and you can see the one side is done. I'm doing this with one hand again. Okay, I'm going to flip it and I'm going to show you. Hold on. So that was the first one. So you see how it looks? That's how it needs to look when you flip it, okay? So now I'm going to wait for the other ones to catch up. I'm going to flip them as well. Please cook it on medium heat. You don't want it to burn. So there they are, guys. This is my first batch of the patties. I will get a total of, including the ones that I did raw, 8 patties out of what I had for ingredients. Okay, if you have extra, you can actually take a parchment paper and lay it on like a cookie sheet and then just make the patties, layer another parchment paper, and I'm talking about the raw like this flour, like I did on the one for the dehydrator, and then put another parchment paper, do another layer, so you're able to cook them as you need them. Just freeze them like that, and then when you need to cook them, just take them out, however many you need, and then just cook them in there in a fry pan or like bake them in an oven. Okay, or you can throw it on a grill, but again remember, let it cook on one side completely before you flip it to the other side. Okay, so I'm going to actually use my veggie patties today to make wraps. So I have here cauliflower grain-free wraps. So I'm going to use the tortillas. And what I like to do is with my tortillas, I do not like to use tortillas straight out of the package. I like to cook them a little bit. This way they become a little bit soft. They're also warm, and you're eating something nice and warm instead of like cold. So I'm just gonna let that cook a little bit on each side. As you can see, it's cooking. I use rotis too, and I have a roti recipe in one of my recipes. You can check it out in the roti roll-up recipe, so you can use that as well. You can use ready rotis or naan for this as well. So I'm just warming them up, and then I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. Both my kids eat differently, so I'm going to make one for one and then the other. This is a great recipe for children who do not like vegetables. You can hide them into the patty and they're never going to know what you put in it. The taste is so delicious. Plus, you know, the adding of cheese in it, and sour cream, ketchup, all these different condiments also help mask the flavors, or you know, of veggies or whatever. Alright, so now I'm going to add cheese and the patty in that. So I added cheese and the patty on there. And now I'm gonna add the ketchup on it. And this is for one of my kids, they like ketchup in theirs. So I'm gonna put this other tortilla on it. I'll pass it down. So this is gonna be like a stuffed quesadilla. So one side is done and I flipped it to the other side. I'm gonna let that one get a little crispy on the other side and then it'll be ready to serve. And then the other one, I'm gonna show you what I'm gonna do with that one. So there it is, guys. That's the first one I just did. Okay, so this one I'm gonna do like a roll because this one is gonna have lettuce in it. I have sour cream here. It's vegan sour cream. Okay. Actually, this is not vegan sour cream. I see a cow on it, but my one kid eats dairy, so she wants it in here. It's okay. I do get vegan for the other one, but I guess she picked the wrong one. Alright, so first we're gonna put that in there. She also wants some pickles. I'm gonna line in there. For her, she wants some lettuce. So this one I am making it without cooking it because it's not. And then I'm gonna add the veggie patty and add veggie patty, and then I'm gonna put in some. And everything is still warm in there. I'm gonna throw in a little shredded cheese for her. I'm just gonna roll this up for her into a taco, into a burrito. So this is hers, and I'm gonna make one more for her, just like this, because she eats about 2 of these. There you go. So here it is, they're ready for her. Please, if you're vegan, use vegan sour cream. She does eat dairy from time to time, so that's why I have dairy for her, and my husband also eats dairy and meat and stuff. So, but my other daughter and I don't.
So good. Make sure you try this recipe and give this video a thumbs up. Like this video and turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever she does a video. Try this recipe and subscribe and comment down below if you tried it because it's so good.